Hi guys, so today we are going to solve some questions of simple and compound interest. Let's move to the first question. First question says, a sum of money compounded annually amounts to rupees 12,800 in 8 years and 9,800 in 6 years. Find the rate of interest. Now this is a question of compound interest. Also, over here we will make use of a concept based on compound interest which says that for consecutive years or for the years, compound interest ratio will be same. As in, the ratio of compound interest will always be same. The ratio of compound interest means the ratio of amounts or the ratio of rate of interest is going to be the same. So, in sixth year, the amount was 9,800. In seventh year, there was an amount, but we don't know the amount of the seventh year. And in eighth year, the amount was 12,800. Now, as we know, the ratio is going to be the same. So what we'll do is, we will simply take the ratio. So basically, if I multiply a value by 9,800, or if I multiply that ratio to this 9,800, we'll get the amount of seventh year. And if I multiply the seventh year's amount by that particular ratio, I'll get the amount of eighth year, that is 12,800. So this means I am multiplying the ratio twice. After multiplying the ratio twice, I am getting the amount for the eighth year. So we will simply take the ratio of eighth year is to sixth year, that is 12,800 upon 9,800. Let's take the ratio. The ratio is 64 upon 49. Remember, we have multiplied the ratio twice. That means we have done A into A, and A into A is A square. So A square is equal to 64 upon 49. To get the value of A, we'll have to take square roots and we'll get 8 upon 7. 8 upon 7, the value of 8 upon 7 is 114.28. Now, 114.28 is the value. Our base is always 100. So what percentage increase is it? It's an increase of 14.28%. Hence, 14.28% is the answer. Moving to the next question. The difference between SI and CI for the first 2 years is rupees 42, and the total SI earned in this period is rupees 1680. Find the principal. Simple interest is fixed every year. Compound interest increases every year. The simple interest for the first year is going to be 840 rupees because the total simple interest is 1680. So it's for 2 years. For first year, it is going to be 840. For second year, it is going to be 840. Compound interest for the first year and simple interest for the first year, both these terms are same. Hence, compound interest for the first year is also 840 rupees. For the second year, the compound interest has to be more than the first year. It is said that simple interest and compound interest, the difference between them for the 2 years is rupees 42. This means we can say that the difference between simple interest and compound interest for the second year only is 42 rupees. Because anyways, for the first year, simple interest and compound interest are same. Hence, the difference is going to be 0. So we can say that simple interest for the second year is 840. Compound interest for the second year is going to be 840 plus 42 rupees. Now, this 42 rupees is equivalent to what? It is equivalent to R% of 840. So 42 is equal to R percent of 840. Hence, we can get the rate of interest by solving this. The rate of interest is 5%. Now, by applying a formula, the formula is difference for the second year is equal to R percent of P or R percent of first year. So 840 is equivalent to 5% of P. P is the principal. So the value of 840. So the value of P is rupees 16,800. Moving to the next question. The difference between SI and CI for the first 3 years at 10% per annum rate is rupees 93. Find total compound interest earned. Now, it's for 3 years. Simple interest is fixed for every year and compound interest increases for every year. Simple interest will be 10% for each of the 3 years. Compound interest for the first year is 10%. So compound interest for the second year will obviously be greater than 10. How to calculate that? How to calculate compound interest for second year? So in compound interest, there is one statement which is principal is added to interest. So let us take 10 as the principal and 10% is the rate of interest. Now calculate 10% of 10 rupees. 10% of 10 rupees is 1. That means the increased interest is going to be 1. So the compound interest for the second year is going to be total of 11%. Now for the third year, we will again calculate 10%, but now of 11 because 11 is for second year. 10% of 11 is 1.1. Hence, we will get the value of compound interest for the third year, that is 12.1%. So total compound interest is equal to 33.1%. We know the difference between simple interest and compound interest is 3.1%, and the actual value of it is 93 rupees. Hence, we can say that 93 is equal to 3.1% of P. So we will get the value of principal, that is 3000 rupees. So 3000 rupees is the value of principal. Once we get principal, we can find out simple interest. So simple interest is 30%. So 30% of 3000 is 900 rupees. We know that the difference between simple interest and compound interest is equal to 93 rupees. Now we have a value of simple interest, that is 900. So compound interest is going to be 993 rupees. Next question says the difference between simple and compound interest for 2 years at 20% per annum rate is 800. Find the principal. This is an interesting question. If you observe, they haven't provided us the correct information. Correct information as in we don't know for which 2 years they are asking us or for which 2 years the difference is given. So if we don't know for which 2 years, we cannot find out. It can be 10th year or 11th year. It can be 20th or 21st. It can be 50th or 51st. It can be for 15th or 16th. It can be of any 2 years. We don't know that. Hence, answer to this question is cannot be determined. A sum kept at SI becomes 4 times in 7 years. Find the time taken for the amount to become 28 times. So it refers to the formula of n times in n years. So let us make use of that formula and find out the answer. Small n is equal to 4, capital N is equal to 7. After putting in the values in the formula, we will get the value of R as 300 upon 7. Further, it is 42.85%. We have to find the time for the amount to become 28 times. Now, we have to find capital N. We have the value of R, that is 300 by 7. By applying the same formula, we will get 300 by 7 is equal to 2700 upon capital N. After solving this, we will get the value of capital N as 63 years. And 63 years is the final answer. Now there is one more way to solve this question. We know that interest is directly proportional to the number of years. So 300% of P in 7 years, that means 2700% of P in how many years? So how is 3 related to 7? In the same way, 27 must be related to the number of years. So it is related to 63 years. 2700 is related to 63. And 63 years is the answer. A sum kept at CI becomes 4 times in 7 years. Find the time taken for the amount to become 64 times. Now there is no formula as such to calculate such questions when it comes to compound interest. But if you think logically, it says that a sum kept at CI becomes 4 times in 7 years and we have to find the time taken for the amount to become 64 times. Now try to find out the relation between 4 times and 64 times. So if you observe, 64 is basically 4 cube. So if we do into 4 into 4 into 4, that is if we do into 4 3 times, we will get 64. Now for every 1 into 4, it takes 7 years. So there are 3 into 4s, that means it will take 7 plus 7 plus 7, that is 21 years. Hence 21 years is the answer. A sum of 1000 is kept at 10% per annum rate of interest for 2.5 years. Find the total amount accrued if it compounded annually. Now let's try to solve this for both, that is for simple interest and for compound interest. Now for simple interest, the rate of interest would be 10%, 10%, but it's for 2.5 years. That means we have to calculate annual rate for 2 years and half annual rate, that is semi-annual rate, for the remaining half year. So for the remaining period, that is for 6 months, it is going to be 5%, half of the actual rate of interest. So total rate of interest over here is 25%, and we will simply find out simple interest by doing or by calculating 25% of 1000, that is rupees 250. So 250 is the rate of interest, sorry, 250 is the simple interest, 25% is the rate of interest. We can find out the total amount by doing 1000 plus 250. So that is 1250. Now let's calculate compound interest. In compound interest, we have to find out the net rate of interest. That is, we have to find out the compound interest by applying successive percentage method. So by applying successive percentage formula, we will get the net interest of 27.05%. Now let's calculate 27.05% of 1000. So that is going to give us 270.5 rupees. So compound interest is 270.5 rupees, and total amount would be 1000 plus 270.5, that is 1270.5. So option 4 is the answer. Thank you.